Grandmother that signed for the daughter to do the tape has the rights to the names and the likeness of my black children. That's who we're dealing with. And I bet not one celebrity say shit. Yeah. They ain't gonna say shit. They're gonna be like, oh man, I'm sorry about you.
Sex. I now hold the opinion that Kim Kardashian is a prostitute, and I'm not going to edit this opinion. Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. Her mother is a pimp. Worse than a prostitute, Kim Kardashian is a corpse. She's a body without a soul. She is so emblematic of the society that we live in today, that if you are willing to degrade yourself, if you are willing to denigrate yourself, then our society, our American society, will give you more, right? How much are you willing to show us of your body? How much are you willing to give us of your daughter's body? That is the price of fame, and she did it.
Ray J makes shocking claims. He's helping.
Tom, you saw that video. You know exactly what's going on here, home slice.
Case against Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. Now, I don't know the connection with Ray J and Tom, but Rob, you want to play this clip? Is this like telling us what's going on, or?
Yes, this is Ray J announcing that he is working with the feds on a RICO case against the Kardashians.
Okay, go for it.
This federal RICO though on KK and Kris. Ooh, the federal RICO I'm about to drop on Kris and Kim is about to be crazy. I'm talking about, I'm on the news every day like, yeah. Meaning like I'm gonna say a lot of shit, man.
Gotta go up. You know you walk with
If anybody know Kim and cool with Kim, they need to tell her now. The rain is coming. The
anybody's friends with Kim need to tell her now.
The feds is coming. It's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy.
Y'all hear this thing, boy?
It's worse than Diddy.
That right there was Kanye West trying to warn us. For years, people called him crazy. They said he was having a breakdown. They said he was delusional. But what if everything Kanye said about Kris Jenner was actually the truth? Because right now, the walls are closing in on the Kardashian-Jenner empire. A former Yeezy employee has come forward with explosive allegations. Ray J is claiming on live streams that the feds are investigating the family. And Kris Jenner just threw a birthday party where the guest list read like a who's who of the Epstein circle. Today, we're going to connect every single dot. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why Kanye was willing to risk everything to protect his daughters. Let's start with the bombshell that mainstream media tried to bury. In October 2024, a former Yeezy employee, filing under the name John Doe, filed a lawsuit in a Los Angeles court. And what he revealed in that lawsuit should have been front-page news everywhere.
In the complaint, John Doe, a former staffer of the Yeezy founder, claims that he was instructed by Ye to investigate the Kardashian family and supposed various criminal links Ye believed they had with criminal enterprises, including alleged STing. Now, again, I hate to just drill this into your head, but it's very interesting that they're saying that Ye was believing that there was some sort of connection with the Kardashian family and some sort of criminal enterprise. We have been talking ad nauseum about Diddy and his Combs enterprise and how he's got people helping him construct all these elaborate things, these parties, these freak-offs. They're setting it up, breaking it down, maybe helping him move people, especially S workers and whatnot, across state lines, sometimes across oceans.
According to court documents obtained by E! News and reported by NBC Los Angeles, this former employee served as Kanye's, quote, director of intelligence. And his duties included, and I'm reading directly from the complaint here, investigating the Kardashian family and, quote, supposed various criminal links Ye believed they had with criminal enterprises, including alleged sex trafficking. Let that sink in. Kanye hired a former military intelligence professional specifically to investigate whether the Kardashians were involved in trafficking. This wasn't some random tweet. This wasn't a social media rant. This was an organized, funded investigation. And then in March 2025, Kanye doubled down harder than ever. He posted on X, and I quote, I am 100% convinced that my children are in a sex trafficking ring. He referenced the long-standing rumors about Kris orchestrating the release of Kim's tape. And he shared a screenshot of someone warning him to be careful and stay at different hotels. Now here's what most people don't know. Kanye didn't just make these claims and walk away. He tried to put protections in place for his children. Back in 2020, right before Kim filed for divorce, Kanye publicly called out Kris for pushing Kim to do a Playboy shoot. He wrote that he put his life on the line to make sure North's mother would never sell her tape. And he specifically said Kris and her boyfriend, Corey Gamble, were not allowed around his children.
Me, because I feel like the culture didn't stand up for me when I asked y'all to.
What did you ask for the culture to stand up for? No.
These women kidnapped my child.
Think about that. A father so terrified of what his mother-in-law might do to his own daughters that he publicly begged the culture to stand up for him. And what did we do? We called him crazy. But it's not just Kanye anymore. Ray J, Kim's ex who was involved in the infamous tape, has been making explosive allegations of his own. And the Kardashians are terrified.
Ray J makes shocking claim. He's helping.
Tom, you saw that video. You know exactly what's going on here, home slice.
Case against Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. Now, I don't know the connection with Ray J and Tom, but Rob, you want to play this clip? Is this like telling us what's going on, or?
Yes, this is Ray J announcing that he is working with the feds on a RICO case against the Kardashians.
Okay, go for it.
This federal RICO though on KK and Kris. Ooh. The federal RICO I'm about to drop on Kris and Kim is about to be crazy. I'm talking about, I'm on the news every day like, yeah. Meaning like I'm gonna say a lot of shit.
Gotta go up. Also, you know, you walk with
If anybody know Kim and cool with Kim, they need to tell her now. The rain is coming.
Anybody's friends with Kim need to tell her now. It's coming.
The feds is coming. It's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy.
Y'all hear this thing, boy?
It's worse than Diddy.
In September 2025, Ray J went live on X and claimed that federal agents were investigating Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian for, and this is his words, doing something worse than Sean Diddy Combs. He also appeared in a TMZ documentary about the Diddy trial and stated that racketeering charges against the Kardashians would be, quote, appropriate. Now, here's how we know the Kardashians are scared. Kris Jenner just filed a declaration in court, her first ever defamation lawsuit in her entire career, calling Ray J's claims outrageous lies. She said she has never been accused or charged with any crime. Kim filed her own declaration saying she's worried Ray J's allegations could destroy her dream of becoming a lawyer. She even said she's had to have tough conversations with her 4 kids about what Ray J has been saying. But here's what's interesting. If Ray J is just a disgruntled ex making things up, why is Kris going to such extreme lengths? She herself said in the filing that she has never in her decades-long career sued anyone for defamation. So why now? Why is this the hill she's willing to die on? Unless what Ray J is saying is hitting a little too close to home. And Ray J isn't backing down either. In November 2025, he filed his own lawsuit against Kim and Kris, claiming they were actually the ones who orchestrated the release of the tape, something he's been saying since 2022. The Kardashians dismissed it as a disjointed, rambling distraction. But Ray J keeps coming. And the more they try to silence him, the louder he gets. Now let's talk about the party that has the entire internet side-eyeing Kris Jenner. On November 8th, 2025, Kris threw herself a 75th birthday party. But this was not a normal birthday party.
Let's take a look inside Kris Jenner's 70th billionaire birthday bash, where the police were allegedly called. Jeff Bezos hosted at his $165 million mansion in Beverly Hills. The theme was a play on James Bond's 007. Inside the party, you could find all the billionaires, including Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle, her daughter and alleged billionaire Kylie Jenner, Kim, Kendall, Khloe, and of course all of Kylie's friends. For the Housewife fans, funny how Lou M. Taylor's here, Vin Diesel, Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber, who walked out with mysterious white stuff on his pants, and many more. The guests received 2 gifts, Wayfair Ray-Bans and special Kris Jenner Dunkin' Donuts. Bruno Mars played, and this is when the police showed up. TMZ and the Daily Mail are alleging the cops came several times during Kris Jenner's birthday bash because of the Bruno Mars performance. I don't mean to be mean or negative, but this party gave extremely bad vibes. And if you watch this video back or just go look online, most everyone walking in, including her daughter, were trying to cover their faces. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below.
The party was hosted at Jeff Bezos' $165 million mansion in Beverly Hills. The theme was James Bond, specifically Kris 0070. And the guest list? The guest list is what has everyone talking. Bill Gates was there. Mark Zuckerberg was there with his wife, Priscilla Chan. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle showed up. Oprah Winfrey. Jeff Bezos, obviously. Jay-Z and Beyoncé reportedly snuck in without even being photographed. Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber. According to reports, at least 9 billionaires attended with a combined net worth of around $600 billion.
Hilton. I think back here is supposed to be Kim Kardashian because that's her outfit, but that face is not Kim's face, okay? So just zoom in. This looks like Justin, and this is Justin, okay? So if you look at this face and this face, they look the same, but, you know, they were all there. Another suspicious photo. This photo with Mariah Carey. Like, girl, where are you looking? What's going on? It's giving like she's not really there. Here's a close-up. Here's a close-up. This girl is photoshopped in this photo. I'm sorry, Miss Mariah Carey. I don't think that she was there. Here's the Kardashians. They also look weird, but you know, maybe they were actually there because it is their mother's birthday. But why was Mark Zuckerberg there? Why was because, you know, it's the Kardashians. They're now the 1%. I find the decorations very interesting. Very interesting. This drape thing, Britney Spears' wedding, Demi Lovato's wedding. This is like the new thing. Oh, that's what they do in Hollywood. Like, you guys, there's a pattern going on here. More faces of the people that were at her birthday. Oprah, Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg, Adele, Bill Gates. Okay, what is happening? Beyonce and her mom were there. And if you're still sitting here defending the Kardashians, defending Kris Jenner, defending Paris Hilton, look who they're with. Do you know who this is? This is Lou Taylor. Lou Taylor, who put Britney Spears in a conservatorship and stole all her money and transferred it to the Kardashians, allegedly. Lou Taylor, who's also in charge of Justin Bieber. Lou Taylor, who's also in charge of Meghan Trainor. And Paris Hilton, Britney's best friend. Okay. So this is what's confusing. Here's Paris wearing this outfit, and here she is wearing the same outfit with Demi Lovato, but I don't think this is from the birthday. This is from a different event. This was from a different event. It was like baby to baby. Yeah, look right here. Baby to baby. So this is from a different event. Yeah, Paris is wearing the same outfit. I also thought these two had broken up. Anyway, the whole thing is giving culty ritual. And what is with these ugly decorations?
Now I need you to think about this. Since when does Bill Gates party with the Kardashians? Since when does Mark Zuckerberg show up at a reality TV star's birthday? Zuckerberg was literally wearing a Kim is my lawyer hoodie. What does that even mean? And the timing. The Epstein Files Transparency Act was passed by Congress that same month, November 2025. Trump signed the bill into law. The DOJ was being forced to release millions of pages of Epstein documents. Bloomberg News had just independently obtained 18,000 of Epstein's personal emails. The House Oversight Committee was releasing tens of thousands of pages.
We do have some major breaking news as we come on the air tonight because President Trump has now signed the Epstein Files bill into law, the final step to force the Justice Department to turn over everything it has on Epstein within the next 30 days. Part of the president's lengthy statement, I'll read it here, where he said, quote, Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2019, not the Democrats, with an exclamation point, was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians, and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrat figures. The president goes on to write, perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their associations with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed because I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein files.
And right in the middle of all of this, every billionaire and power player in America just happens to show up at Kris Jenner's birthday party? The internet doesn't think that's a coincidence. People on Reddit were asking the obvious question. One user wrote that these people showed up because Kris is allegedly connected to them in ways the public doesn't fully understand yet. Another person compared her influence to Epstein-level networking. And someone else asked whether Kris could face the same fate as Ghislaine Maxwell. The comparison keeps coming up, and it's not hard to see why. The police were even called multiple times during the party because of noise from a Bruno Mars performance. But what really stood out was that almost every guest arriving was trying to cover their face. If this was just a birthday party, why was everyone so desperate not to be seen? Now, if you're going to compare Kris Jenner to Ghislaine Maxwell, you have to look beyond just the allegations. You have to follow the money. Because Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine weren't just predators, they were financial criminals. And the financial parallels with Kris are hard to ignore.
We need to talk about Kris Jenner's sketchy church. The California Community Church was founded by Kris Jenner, and to be a member at this church, you must spend $1,000 a month. And they expect you to donate 10% of your salary to their organization. This church is a cash cow for Kris Jenner and for all the wrong reasons. On top of it all, their pastor Brad has a disturbing past that is far from holy. So let's get into it. There's something up when it comes to this church situation and the Kardashians, because I don't really think of Kris Jenner as a super religious person, yet she's actually founded a church of her own. And it's not a cheap church either, because they are charging their members $1,000 a month to attend this church, which is a huge tax break for Kris. You guys know that Kris Jenner is a mega businesswoman. I mean, she's the momager to her daughters who are so incredibly successful, but a church just seems so out of place. And as you guys know, the Kardashian family is full of women and they all have K names. So Kim, Kimberly, Kylie, Kendall, Kris, all of them. But their church is full of C's, which I think is interesting. California Community Church. And I can't help but to think that this is on purpose because the logo has 3 C's. And guys, I've been to a few different churches before and a member of a few, in my lifetime, and I've never ever seen a logo like this. Like, I don't know if there's like some secret, like something to it, but looking at this logo, like you would have no idea that this is a church, and it's very telling, when it comes to why Kris Jenner has this church in the first place, because it's not for religious purposes. So actually owning a church is a huge tax write-off. And you guys know at the end of the day, everything's about money when it comes to these people. So you could reduce your taxes up to 60% or even up to 100% if you pay in cash. So Kris founded the California Community Church back in June 2008, and she requires her members to pay $1,000 a month, which is so much money, on top of donating 10% of their salary. So they're sending a ton of money to Kris Jenner. But if you go onto the church's website, you will see that it's just like any ordinary church. I mean, they do church trips and things like that, but nothing that would cost that amount of money. So where's the money going? It's also kind of sketchy that the Kardashian family makes a ton of donations to this church and they write it off on their taxes, so they get money back from that. But
let's start with Kris Jenner's church. In 2009, Kris co-founded a church called the California Community Church, originally known as Life Change Church. The lead pastor, Brad Johnson, is a Kardashian family friend who actually officiated Khloe and Lamar Odom's wedding. Now here's where it gets sketchy. Members of this church reportedly have to pay $1,000 a month. They also have to tithe, which means donating 10% of their income. And since this church is registered as a charity, the Kardashians get massive tax benefits every time they donate.
Did you know that Kris Jenner has her own church? But before you go convert to Christianity, watch this video. Because this church is clearly a tax write-off Bible. So in general, churches are huge tax loopholes. They're exempt from paying federal, state, and local taxes, and all their financial records are closed. Only God knows about those P&Ls. She set up California Community Church in 2009 with a co-founder that she met at Starbucks. This is what it looks like. And Kim has said in interviews that she gives 10% of her income to the church each year. If she makes $80 million a year, that's $8 million. And if the other sisters are doing that too, that's at least like $50 million in tithings. If your church made $50 million a year, would it look like this? Oh, and here's what I think really seals the deal. The girls don't worship there. They go to Hillsong, they used to go to Sunday service. Is it because this isn't really a church? Is this just a bank?
Founded by her mother, Kris Jenner. And guess what? 10% is also the exact cut Kris takes as her children's manager. Coincidence? People don't think so. Tax records have shown that Kim's eBay charity auctions were listing Kris's church as the beneficiary. So the money from those charity sales goes right back into the family's pocket through the church. And here's the kicker. The church was actually caught up in a tax scandal in its early years. Radar Online reported a tax lien of over $1,600 in unpaid payroll taxes. The church reportedly failed to pay any taxes during its first few years of operation. They even changed the name from Life Change Church to California Community Church after the audit, claiming they wanted a new direction and vision.
The Kardashians and Jenners don't really strike me as an overly religious group of people. So why did Kris Jenner found this church in California? Okay, I see where this one's going, because they're tax exempt, gotcha. She really has a monthly membership fee of $1,000 to be a member of her church, and you have to give 10% of your income to it, a tithe, like we're in the Middle Ages. Fun fact, because a church is considered a charity, all contributions to a church are 100% tax deductible. Also, they do not ever have to reveal their financial records. Wow. So all of Kris Jenner's children tithe to the church, giving money effectively to their mother, who probably just kicks it straight back to them. Amazing. So who runs the day-to-day here? Pastor Brad. Okay, he used to serve some of the fastest growing congregations in the United States. Why'd he leave? He was cheating on his wife for 27 years? Plot twist. In 2008, he said he's not qualified to ever be a minister again. And then the next year, he officiated Khloe Kardashian's wedding after Kris Jenner found him at a Starbucks. So none of them probably pay any taxes. Check my next video to learn how you can buy, borrow, die like Buffett.
And then there's the real estate. The Kardashians are constantly buying, building, and flipping properties. Kylie building mega mansions right next to Kris's property. The non-stop construction. People online have been speculating that all of this real estate activity could be another way to move money around. Now, I want to be clear, none of this has been proven in court. But when you look at how JP Morgan moved over $1 billion for Epstein while ignoring red flags, and then you look at how the Kardashian empire moves money through churches, charities, and real estate, the pattern is what people are pointing to. We cannot talk about Kris Jenner's alleged connections without talking about the most mysterious man in the Kardashian orbit, Corey Gamble.
That's not some paranoid shit. Yes, Corey is CIA. Like, he didn't even have to say it. I know it. He's fucking CIA. What are you talking about? Like, what the fuck? This is my godmother. This is my this. He's Illuminati. That's why fucking Cardi B was over there. Cardi B is a plant by the Illuminati. She don't write her raps. She's just there to like sound as ignorant as possible, and then make songs like "fuck him" and you get some money. You know, she was literally replaced, Nicki Minaj purposely. That they put her there, and now she doesn't know what to do, and she's just she has no idea what the fuck is going on. She thinks it's just a blessing from the universe. There ain't no blessing from the fucking universe.
In leaked footage from an unreleased 2018 documentary, Kanye is on the phone saying flat out that Corey Gamble is CIA. He claimed Corey was sent to infiltrate the Kardashian family. And in 2022, Kanye doubled down on this, publicly saying Corey was not allowed near his children. Now, who is Corey Gamble really? Here's what we know. Before dating Kris, Corey worked as a road manager in the music industry. He was connected to Scooter Braun's camp. He was Justin Bieber's tour manager. And we all know the troubling connection between Bieber and Diddy. The weird videos of a 15-year-old Bieber spending weekends at Diddy's house.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but come get the front shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, wear your seatbelt.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion?
Yeah.
All right. So where are we off to now?
Corey has also been linked to Kim Porter, Diddy's ex and the mother of several of his children, who died suddenly in 2018 from what was ruled as pneumonia. There are people who allege Corey was present around the time of her death, though this has not been independently verified.
Let me ask you about Corey Gamble.
What about that?
He was at Kim Porter's death scene.
Yeah, I know. And he was also the nigga that took Tory Lanez to Kylie's house to fake shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Corey Gamble is Justin Bieber's former tour manager, which taught Kris Jenner how to be a tour manager so that she could take over the financial responsibility for all of Kanye West shows and remove Sean G. Corey Gamble has been a plant for a long time. Everybody knows it. He's probably the one that groomed Justin and make him so pliable so that they could pimp him out at all these damn music festivals. He would be the right guy for the job. You can sue me, Corey.
Part 4, Kanye West has accused Corey Gamble of being a part of the CIA or being a Fed in some sort of capacity. Kanye has said multiple times that Corey Gamble is not to be trusted.
Corey is a plant. Corey was, Puff Daddy, Nanny, Manny. You get what I'm saying? Then he was with Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber got in trouble.
Scott Disick is another figure who has vocalized his concern about Corey's mysterious past and how quickly Corey and Kris jumped into a very serious relationship. Scott and Corey have also gone head-to-head in the past when Corey shamelessly threatened to physically discipline Scott's daughter Penelope at a family dinner.
Whip her ass, and I'll explain to y'all later.
What?
I would whip her ass.
You would whoop Penelope's ass if she scratched you?
I would give her a spanking for sure.
My daughter? What are you talking about?
Scratch me.
You would whip my daughter's ass if she touched you?
No, scratch me.
You would whip my daughter
Why not?
if she scratched you?
Why not?
A little 6-year-old girl? What the are you talking about?
That's the problem.
Stop it.
Scott reacted like any parent would in this situation. I think this interaction was very worrisome to a lot of fans, especially this generation, as we unpack and educate ourselves on the harm that comes along with physical discipline. Just a couple years after Corey Gamble began his relationship with Kris Jenner, we had a new president elected in 2016. After that president was elected, Kanye West and Corey Gamble personally flew out to New York City to congratulate Donald Trump personally. Now, this is the second time we have seen Corey Gamble in very close proximity to important government officials or affiliates of government officials. And unfortunately for Corey, it doesn't appear that he is going to be beating the Fed, CIA allegations anytime soon. Right now, we are all patiently or impatiently waiting to see if Corey Gamble will be named in any kind of capacity having some form of involvement in the current P. Diddy lawsuit that's going on. As we know, Corey Gamble was connected to P. Diddy through almost every controversy that P. Diddy went through. Some people believe that Corey Gamble is the Olivia Pope of Calabasas and a fixer and a protector of the Kardashians, while others believe he may just be an opportunist. At this point, I would say this is still a lot of very surface level information, and I think there's a lot more to find out. So we're gonna stay on top of this, and I wanna know what you guys are thinking in the comments. I wanna know if any of this information surprised you. I'll see you guys in the next one.
What's undeniable is that nobody can clearly explain what Corey Gamble actually does. He has no visible business, no public portfolio, no LinkedIn. Yet he's been in the inner circle of some of the most powerful people in entertainment for years. He's been photographed with everyone. He shows up everywhere, but nobody can tell you how he makes his money. And when Kanye, a man who is married into this family, is screaming from the rooftops that this man is a government operative who should not be around children, maybe we should have listened. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. Because the timing of everything we've talked about lines up almost too perfectly with the Epstein files being released. In January 2024, court documents from the Ghislaine Maxwell case were unsealed. In September 2025, Bloomberg obtained 18,000 of Epstein's personal emails. In November 2025, the same month as Kris's party, Congress passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act. By January 2026, over 3 million pages had been released to the public. And what did the DOJ conclude? In July 2025, they released a memo saying they found no official client list and no evidence that Epstein blackmailed people. But here's the thing. That memo drew massive criticism. Even FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino had previously questioned the official Epstein narrative before joining the government.
It was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.
The Epstein files named Bill Gates. They named Prince Andrew. They named dozens of powerful people. And yet the DOJ says there's nobody left to investigate? While the same people named in those files are showing up at Kris Jenner's birthday party. The connections between these circles are not conspiracy theory. They're documented. They're in court filings. They're in leaked emails. The only question is how deep they actually go.
If I didn't see this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed that he said this. He called Kim Kardashian an sex trafficker, and he believes his children are being trafficked. Look, Kim Kardashian is I don't like that Twigs has my daughter in her video dressing all grown. I would have expected more from Twigs. Watch y'all don't believe me and just say I'm crazy. The Kardashians are S workers, and they S traffic all of the black children they strategically produce. So he then shared a picture of one of his daughters, and he said, as a father, this made me very uncomfortable to see countless pictures like this of my children placed inside their phones. This was Shy's screensaver. I am 100% convinced that my children are in a S trafficking ring. The grandmother signed for the S tape. Now, out of the respect for the child, I'm not going to show the picture, but she's fully clothed and she's sticking her tongue out. I don't know what is making him feel uncomfortable, but if he's feeling uncomfortable, his feelings as a father are valid. He goes on to say, it's time now, they really have to kill me. As a father, I will no longer distract myself from my responsibility to truly and actually protect my actual children. It's time to go and get full custody, which will be me taking them out of the hands of Disney, Sierra Canyon Pond, celebrity parents, and the Kardashian clan, and Mama Kris, who signed for the S tape. I'm not the crazy one here. I'm their father. I'm controlling what they watch, what they wear, and where they go to school. And he shared a screenshot of him talking to someone. They said, I'm meeting with a detective we found before. He is not on the Kardashian payroll. Would you be open to sitting with him and being interviewed about what you saw? And Kanye replies, yes. Kanye goes on to say, it's time to get my children from the situation everyone knows they're in. They killed that boy from Lincoln Park for this, but I'm not letting my children be in this anymore. I will be dead before my kids be in Sierra Canyon in September. And Sierra Canyon is this fancy, private California school that celebrity kids go to. There are so many more posts, but he also shared a post of Lou Taylor. Now, Lou Taylor is the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment, and she allegedly is one of the ones who single-handedly helped put Britney Spears into a 13-year conservatorship, tried to put Justin Bieber in a conservatorship, Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, and Justin Bieber fired her bitch ass too. I do want to say something though. You speak up and you say things like this, people think you're crazy, but what if he's telling the truth? I know he said some other things about his beliefs and things like that. What if he's telling the truth? He says he hasn't seen his son Saint in 6 weeks. He says after he's been posting all this, he's been asked to go to the hospital. So let me get this straight. I'm not allowed to speak out loud. And why would I be asked to go to the hospital after what I've said today? Because they're trying to drug him up and silence him. I know we got a lot of opinions on Kanye, but this is too wild not to pay attention to.
Look, I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm laying out the facts. The court filings, the public statements, the financial records, the guest lists, the timelines, and letting you connect the dots. But I will say this. When a father is willing to destroy his public image, lose his business deals, and be called insane just to protect his daughters from his own mother-in-law, that's not a man who's making things up. That's a man who saw something. Kanye tried to warn us. Ray J is trying to warn us. Former employees are filing lawsuits, and the internet is paying attention. The question is, will anything actually happen? Or will the Kardashian machine keep grinding? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this video opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe because we are just getting started.